Oh, God gave us a beautiful creation, a beautiful world. That world is expressed, that creation is expressed in different ways. And here behind us, we have these whakairo, these tukutuku, these kōwhaiwhai that express that creation in different ways. On one side, we have the biblical story, Adam and Eve and the prophets leading up to Peter. On the other side, we have a Māori expression. We have Rangi and Papa, we have Maui, we have Otawaitua, we have the Māori evangelists. Two different ways of really looking at the same thing, and every culture has a way of looking at that creation. But you know what we all have in common? We all thought it was a beautiful creation that God gave us. Now Jesus came to us to bring that creation back to the way it should have been, because it had been losing its track. And it says that God so loved the world that He gave His only Son. God loves this world. God loves His creation and sent us Jesus to bring that creation back to its fullness. And Jesus expressed this in different ways. He healed people, He taught people. And today we have one of His teaching moments, the Sermon on the Mount. This is Jesus' manifesto. This is Jesus saying to us, here's the way we should be. You might also notice that today's reading is a little different from the Matthew version of this particular, the Beatitudes. In Matthew's one, it includes blessed are the peacemakers, and it says things like, blessed are the poor in spirit. But this one's quite clear, blessed are the poor, blessed are the hungry. And you know, this reading is so messed up today, because it goes completely against a big part of our human nature around greed. I don't know if you fellas have been following the news lately, what's been happening in a small Caribbean country called Haiti. But it's absolutely terrible. Not just the earthquake and the people starving and the people trying to survive, but did you know before the earthquake, in that city, Port-au-Prince, where the earthquake struck, they had 50,000 homeless children living on the streets in that city. This is before the earthquake. 50,000 children with no parents. And I was reading this story and it said they survived. They'd go out in little gangs and they'd do anything they could. Not normally criminal, but beg, they'd wash windows, they'd sell cigarettes, they'd do whatever they could. They'd bring back all their collection for a day and they'd share it. The big kids and the little kids. So they had enough to survive on. That's how 50,000 children with no parents have been surviving for years in that city. And we see always on the news, Africa, Asia, South America, stories of terrible poverty around the world. And the truth of this is that poverty is caused by humans. And that poverty has been caused for hundreds of years by Europe and the United States exploiting those continents, taking everything they can get from them. Africa isn't poor because it doesn't have resources. Africa is poor because Europe has been ripping it off for hundreds of years, and America. And now China's doing the same thing. China's getting on the act. Oh, we're big and strong. We're going to rip you off now. We're going to take your resources, keep you poor, keep you unstable, keep wars going because it suits us. We're going to get these resources because that's us, that's humans. If we can get it, we'll take it. If we're strong, we'll take it from the weak. That's how we are. And I'm afraid it's not just restricted to, well, Europeans and the United States. You know, as Māori, we were a pretty nasty people in some ways. You know, our economy was based in lots of places on slavery. Now, we can wrap it up in all the tikanga, all the beautiful aroha words we want, but when it came down to it, it was strong people exploiting weak people. That's how we survived. I'm going to make you my slave, I'm going to make you do the work for me. We were no different from any other culture. We were capable of exploiting one another. So it's a bit of a depressing world we live in, isn't it? It's depressing what we've done with this creation, this beautiful creation God gave us. And in the past week, we, that's all of us in this room, have been offered another opportunity for greed, called tax cuts. But you know, John Key and the National Party and the politicians, they're all basically the same, have promised us some tax cuts. And you should see the response, man, the polls are going through the roof. Yeah, tax cuts means more money in my pocket. Surely there's nothing wrong with that. You know what these tax cuts are going to mean? If you're earning $100,000 a year, and I don't know if anyone in this room earns $100,000 a year, I'm a little bit off there. You're going to get an extra $77 a week in your pocket. That's not bad money. That's like 4 sevens that's like almost $300 a month you're going to get extra from a tax cut. You can go and buy that big TV plasma thing you don't really need. You can go and buy it now. But if you're earning $30,000, which is the average for a Māori farmer, you'll get an extra $3 a week. So you can go and buy that loaf of bread. Except that loaf of bread's going to cost more because GST is going up. This is not about politics. This is about what Jesus was saying to us this morning. The rich are going to get richer, and the poor are going to get poorer with these tax cuts. And you know what? Everyone's going to think they're going to get richer, and they're going to go for it because it's my money in my pocket, and I'm getting better, and that's all that matters. And those on the margins, the poor, which means Māori and Pacific Island, are going to suffer the most. And poverty's going to go up, and health's going to go down, and prison's going to go up. Have you seen the big new prison they're building in Mount Tina? What a huge building. It's like a 10-story prison. It's fantastic. And you know, 60% of the people in there are going to be Māori, even though they're only 15% of the population. Man, we're overachievers. The poor are going to get poorer. And that is not what Jesus was saying to us today. Jesus was saying to us today, yes, there are poor people and there are rich people. But here's two things we need to know as Christians. One, there's more to life than money and material goods. And you certainly can't take those things with you when you carry on your journey. You can buy that big plasma screen with your tax cut, but it won't necessarily make you a better person, and you certainly can't take it with you. And the other thing we know is this is not what God intended for the world. It's for the rich to get richer and buy more junk that they don't need. Jesus said to us today, blessed are the poor, the hungry, you who weep. Because we know we have to go and heal those people. We have to go and help those people. We also know we're going to get rejected for our vision. Followers of Jesus will be excluded, reviled, and defamed, but it's worth it. And you know what else is going to happen over the next couple of months? The politicians are going to sell us these tax cuts, and there's going to be a few people saying, no, it's not right. And they're going to be excluded, reviled, and defamed for saying it's not right. But this is about the world we live in, and that's the world that Jesus was talking about. So our message today is one of hope. Hope as Christians that, although there's a lot of greed in the world and it seems to run the world a lot of times, there is an alternative, and that alternative is Jesus Christ.